So here's the next question that I think you guys will all wonder about. What's general ed classes versus core classes versus electives? Um, if you think about an undergraduate degree, you will likely take anywhere from 120 credits to about 130 some odd credits, right? And I will create a video on what a credit is, especially based on my experience. But that's around how many credits you will be needed to graduate out of the program that you are in. With that said, there are a set of classes, there are a certain number of classes that every undergraduate major will have to take. Okay. For example, I'm just throwing this as an example: math, the basic math, right, which is called college algebra. That is a class that is required for a biology degree, or a chemistry degree, or a psychology degree, or a um, you know whatever a music major. Everybody has to take that class, and that is this big block of credit called general ed, and that is just a college algebra is just going to be one of those classes. There might be multiple other classes, like for example, you may have to take some English classes, like English literature classes. If you're not in English learners classes, like ESL or something like that, then you may actually end up taking a little advanced English classes, and that is required of you. You have no option. You cannot graduate without taking those classes. So there are a set credit classes that every individual going through an uh, undergraduate degree would have to take to um, to eventually make it to your graduation. Then there's something called the core classes. Okay, so these core classes are classes that how so you will not be able to. It's along the lines of general ed, where you have to take these classes, but everybody else that is part of other programs also have to take these classes in case of general ed, right? The core classes, on the other hand, is if you are that program, or if you are graduating from that program, then you have a set of classes that only your degree students will participate in, right? For example, as you again, going back to, like, say, we'll take computer science as an example. If computer science was your major, and you're doing a bachelor's in computer science, say for example, you will be taking a math class, of course, for computer science, but you might also be taking biology class or general psychology class, right? These are going to be part of your general education. Everybody else takes that as well. And then now you go to core classes, which is, as you go a little deeper into computer, because you're a computer science major, you may be required to take some programming classes, you may be required to take some database classes. Now, those classes are part of your core. A psychology major is not going to be required to take those classes. A music major is not going to be required. A biology major is not going to be required to take those programming classes, unless they want to do that because they have other intentions. But so those are core classes, and there will be a set number of credits that you will have to complete in order to graduate in your program, and those are your core classes. Okay, hopefully I'm making sense here. Then there are something called electives, a set of classes that you have to fulfill to graduate. At the end of your graduation, by the time you get to your graduation, you still have to do that 120 or 130, whatever is the credit that is set for you to graduate. But these are classes that you can kind of pick and choose from, and I'll give you an example. For example, for my undergraduate, when I was going through my undergraduate degree, I had an option to choose from between music versus, say, pottery. Like, I don't know, pottery as in clay and pot making, right? I actually ended up taking both of those classes, and there was more than a set of there were a few classes to pick from, which were part of the elective. So they may say like your electives might be um, 21 credits. 21 credits worth of electives has to be taken by an undergrad graduating for that program. So that would be close to like 7 classes, because 7 times 3 is 21. Like, so most classes are going to be 3 credit worth, meaning there will be 7 classes that can be electives. So for myself, I took a class in piano because I was interested to learn, at least some flavor of music right from when I was very young. So I figured I would take a piano class, and then I also figured, because I was so stressed with everything else, all other classes that was going on, when I got to those classes where it was really biology focused or chemistry focused classes or computer science focused classes, it was just taking all of my brain. So I took something that would ease me a little bit, and yet keep my credits, keep my minimum credit requirements to be legal in the country, which is 12 credits for bachelor's degree. I believe that's still the case. So I ended up taking pottery class just to calm me a little bit, and so on. So that is the story that I wanted to say about general ed versus core versus electives. Hopefully that made sense as well. Now, while I'm on this topic, let me also talk a little bit about, I'm just checking my notes here, prerequisites. When you go on and take classes, you will hear your professors or your friends say that there is a prerequisite for this class, okay? And it's just like the name suggests, just like the word suggests, prerequisite is if you want to take some advanced level class, like say, in the US, most of them will be numbered. So if you're, say, going from into a 300 level class, like say comp 300, meaning computer science 300 class, you can't just directly, even though you may have knowledge of programming, you can't just jump on and take comp 300 unless you have authorization from your advisor and so on. But for the most part, they will just have you go through that checklist. It's almost like checklist. So in order to participate in comp 300, you must have done comp 100, right, which is the basic. So for comp 300, comp 100, or comp 101 is your prerequisite. So prerequisite is essentially something that you have to take before you take the other class, right? So that's prerequisite. And I think I'm going to end that video with that note. If you have any questions, please comment below. I know I'm not able to respond in a short video all the questions that you may have brewing in your mind. But if you do have questions, please comment below, and I'm happy to respond to your question, or someone else that knows better will respond to your question. And if you like the sort of video that is being produced here, please let me know by commenting below or giving me a thumbs up or sharing the video. And hit that bell button, please. Subscribe and hit that bell button, please, because I want you to be notified when I post videos like this. So I know you guys are taking a leap of faith here by trying to go to a new country, and good luck to you. I've been there, done that. So I wish you all the best. But in the meantime, please take care of yourself. Please stay healthy and safe, and we will see you in the next video.